We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred.
With Maxwell Silverhammer.
We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen,
nightly fucking news.
election 2024 with nothing sacred.
Yeah,
Hello,
bitches.
everyone. I'm Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silver fucking Hammer.
I'm Louie Loke.
And I'm Koala Harris.
Oh,
no.
You know
no.
what? I was thinking about that. Koala rhymes with Kamala, right?
No. Don't tell us. Don't tell us you did.
Well, that's the only problem with that is that if you say Kamala, you're racist. You have to say Kamala.
Kamala?
Oh.
Okay.
Kamala.
Wow.
Okay.
Also,
Jeez.
if you're Koala Harris, then we're not going to have a great conversation because you'll be saying the same thing. I was born in a middle class family.
Right?
I'm not going to take your guns away. Me and Tim Walz
Over and
love
over again.
guns.
Also, how do you feel about immigration? I was born in the middle class family. Oh, how do you feel about the economy? I was born in the middle class family.
That's right.
Why didn't you go on Joe Rogan? I was born in the middle class family.
Right.
I'm just going to start using it for everything at work now, too.
Hey,
I just,
right?
you know, people
You know
ask
what?
me, so what do you think about my
No,
back?
please.
Oh, I was born in a middle class family.
I saw this Jericho Green thing today where he called her retardie B,
Yeah,
and
I saw that one.
that was fun.
saw
I
it
was
too.
laughing my ass off when he was making fun of J-Lo about
Yeah.
all the Latinos getting upset about Trump,
Right.
and he was doing the whole Latino in person. That was fucking hilarious. I was laughing.
Well, we're gonna actually, but everyone, we're here. We're obviously not live. You're watching this later on, so you already know a lot of what's going to happen. We decided to come on live tonight. I've never, like I was telling these guys before, I've never been. All right, so let's look to some updates first, because the two main states that we're looking at, the three ones we're looking at that need to actually switch, are really if Trump wins one of these three states, it's over. And that's Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
I think he has the best shot with Michigan.
And
I think Michigan.
I don't know.
Wisconsin too, maybe.
I would say Wisconsin.
I would
Yeah,
say
I'd say
Wisconsin
Wisconsin.
too, because from what they're saying, that from exit polls, he's doubled the amount of support from African Americans and Latinos. Doubled it.
Those
Right now,
Latinos.
yeah,
Latinos, boys.
now, what we've got is Trump has a slight lead over Harris in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. It's 49.9 to 49.2. Trump is high, but if he wins one of those, she can't. He's actually crushing it in a lot of things. And I've been a wreck all day, man, because I can't
see. Okay, but I'm a little bit disappointed because no matter how much they've campaigned, everybody who's a Democratic state that's historically Democratic has voted Democratic, and everybody who's a Republican state has voted Republican.
It's
I'm like, that's so
frustrating.
sad.
Yeah,
That's so sad.
But that's going to happen anyway. That's
I don't know.
that's going to be.
I saw something the other day because I was kind of just looking through elections, and I found that Ronald Reagan in 1984 won almost every single state.
Yep,
Really?
He
Killed it.
He absolutely just. I think Mondale only got 3 electoral votes.
Or something
Damn.
like that.
It was
Something
like that?
49 out of 50 states. Yes.
Holy
Mhm.
shit!
Yes,
Oh, okay.
absolutely
Wow, he got slaughtered.
obliterated. But that doesn't happen anymore because you're right. Because we're so stratified. We're so.
Well,
People
I
will-
went a little off the grid, and I voted for Max. I wrote him in on the ballot.
That's what
All
she
right.
said. Yeah, she said there's not enough drama
That's
with
what
the
she said.
HOA, so that means I have to be voted. I have to be president.
Oh, I see. You know what? So,
Yep.
so you have to actually be president of the United States. That way, you'll also be president of the HOA.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's like a pyramid thing. Because if he's president of everything else, he can be president of the HOA too.
Of course,
Right,
the
right.
HOA is lower than the United States. You know what I'm saying? So
So
But-
how did you write it in? Did you write it in Maxwell?
Maxwell.
How did he introduce himself? Maxwell fucking Silverhammer.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
Silverhammer.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
how I wrote it. Yeah, but I want a spot in the cabinet. I do. I think that I've earned it, and so I'm hoping that you'll make
You'll
the
be
right choice.
You know what'd be funny is what if a shitload of people wrote in somebody, like let's say they all put Maxwell Silverhammer, And I found
Mickey Mouse.
yeah, or Mickey Mouse or somebody, and they end up winning. Just like
You actually tilt the election. If two people hadn't voted for you, it would have sent one of the places, Wisconsin or one of those places,
yeah,
over, and it would actually. And so the only reason Trump loses is because of Maxwell Silverhand.
right. Trump lost to me.
1% votes for him.
Although I got to tell you guys, both sides are getting stupid though. I mean, you got the one side of, obviously the woke folk doing this. We need to vote. It's important, and we're oppressed. Then you got the other side, they're proud to be an American, that are like, Elon Musk is Jesus in a can, and he's going to protect our Constitution. He protects our American way. And it's like, dude, nobody's going to take our Constitution away. Shut the fuck up. Dude, you can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
It's already people are already talking about it.
They're talking about it. That's it.
Well, why are they talking about it?
Here's the deal. I mean, of course, you have the three branches of government. You have the executive, the congressional, the legislative. I couldn't think of the word for a second. The legislative and judicial.
Executive, judicial. Yep.
Right. And so right now they're even looking at the Senate races, or I am. I'm looking at the Senate races, and the House of Representative races too, because if there's enough people that are the same as what I believe, then yeah.
Here's the problem with all that is this is why it's a problem, is because when you have people like the woke, and and everyone's calling everyone who doesn't support them Nazis and garbage. You're going to create extremists from that, because people don't want to be labeled like that. And when you've got people literally, like, I got a story for you.
Well,
guys,
I honestly voted way before they started the whole garbage thing and the whole,
Well, of course, yeah. I mean,
I voted like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever.
And so did I. Yeah. I did the mail-in ballot shit, but
yeah, and a lot of people
I didn't do the mail-in. I just went into the polls.
I dropped mine into one of the things the other day. I didn't do it. Go down there because I'm not leaving my house for a day or two, especially not in this city. But I got an actual story kind of about that kind.
What's wrong with your city?
It's in Oregon. It's so blue. It's bluer than my balls.
So
after watching fucking. Never mind.
So is it crime ridden? Is it like crazy? Like,
not like Portland, but it's still very wokeified. You know what I'm saying?
It's bluer than my balls. And after watching Tulsi Gabbard's surfing, she's fucking hot as hell. And that's one of the things that a lot of people. But anyways, I want to tell you, I got a story, and Max already knows this story, but it kind of reinforces everything going on here with the way it is here in Oregon. Yeah, I'm in an improv group, and it's a great group of people. In terms of a lot of the things are great about the group. We get along well. We get along well. Yeah, there's a catch, of course. We get along well. They're very open, and nice in terms of.
Oh, I think I remember you telling us this.
I don't think so.
Something about the anti-Christian thing, like it doesn't matter if you say.
Oh, that's no. This is something else. It's better.
Okay.
So I also run my own group, and there's a person who was in my own group that I actually thought was a great improviser. Name, I don't want to go give names.
Yeah.
But
we'll just call him fuckface.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I'll basically they were good improvisers, and I thought, you know what, I don't give a shit about what your sexual orientation is, all that shit, what you identify as,
If you're good, you're good.
If you're good, you're good, and I want you to play in a show that people pay money for, because I want good players for my group.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So and this person came to my group first as an improv group. They didn't come to the other jams for the other group that I'm in. And eventually they got comfortable enough, and I recommended them for the other group that I'm in, and they got accepted. So they're in the group now, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's because of me. They came to my group first, my class first. They started doing improv with me first. I got them into the scene where they started going to the jams of the group, and where they saw. So basically, I'm kind of responsible for it in an offshoot way. I'm not going to say it's mine, but that's how it works. So I support this person. I support these people. We had a great show, Sawprov last weekend. We did an amazing show, 3 shows. great in terms of just like, yeah, it was great. We had a great chemistry and stuff like that. But they are so goddamn blue that I can't say anything, and they all assume that I'm in agreement with them on politics. And if they knew about my politics,
Yeah,
I would be kicked out of the group, I think. And no matter how much I've done for this group, I've gotten
which is sad, right? Because I
yeah,
mean, if you're like you're saying, if you're good, you're good. Like if you're,
yeah.
it shouldn't matter what your political leanings are or whatever,
Right.
you know.
Yeah,
Then this kind of leads into the story. We're at a party with everybody, and somebody starts talking about gender and how gender is on a spectrum.
Okay.
And going off about that, and how and before this they're talking about. By the way, is Koala still around? Just making sure you're still there. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So I hadn't heard you for a bit, so I didn't know if you got knocked off. So anyway, this person's talking about gender's on a spectrum. When you get closer to the center of things, everything becomes less clear. You know, when it's not male and female, and this person that I got into the group starts talking about, yeah, well, I'm non-binary, but I lean more towards male, so I'm trans-masculine. And
which I've never heard. What the
and everyone in the room's going, oh, and during this whole time, they're all talking about this doctor who's so great because they talked to him for an hour and he got him on Adderall and he got him on all these. So they're all on fucking SSRIs and other shit too. They're all on Adderall. So one girl's like,
they're
oh,
talking
man.
about this person's doctor, their personal.
No, just yeah, they're talking about everybody's.
It's a mental health professional's dream.
Well, like I said, like this is not a mental health doctor. This is a physician. So you know exactly. Yeah, that laugh was so. That laugh had anger. That laugh was to punch you in the face after I laugh from Louie.
Right, like,
You know. So, anyways, these people, they're all talking. It's like, yes, this doctor's amazing. He talked to me for an hour, and then he prescribed me Adderall, and I was getting really anxious and nervous, and you know, and it made me more productive. You know, and then this other guy's like, yeah, I'm on Adderall, and it's made me more focused. I'm like, yeah, it's an amphetamine.
Jesus.
He's like, this doctor's great. I'm like, of course he's great. He's giving you drugs. So anyways, I'm just sitting around this. I can't say anything. I'm not saying anything. And they start going on this trance thing. They're all drinking too, which is another thing, of course. I'm not drinking. So I'm seeing the you know, all the fucking because people are starting to, you know, this guy's like, you're valued here, you know, because this one guy's getting divorced, and he's getting a divorce because I think he dresses up as a woman on his, like, outside of his marriage, named Desi or something. They're like,
what the
people
fuck? God, I oh man, oh, dude, you're a better man than me,
dude.
Charlie Brown.
That's the thing. Like I said, I can separate these things because I've always, and that's another thing, I've always known about their differences. They've never been shy about it. Oh, Trump this. They'll talk about Jesus and make fun of Christmas. What's a make-believe holiday? Christmas. Ooh! I'm like, fuck you. I'm not religious, but go fuck yourselves. How about people that come to our show who believe in God and want to laugh for 2 hours at your condescending fucking bullshit? Anyway,
yeah, but then when you're in a just speaking as a Christian, you know, when you're in a comedy club, right? You go because people might say some offensive things, and sometimes you get caught in the crossfire, right?
Well, everybody that's comedy though.
Yeah,
everybody gets caught in the crossfire.
Everybody gets caught. Everybody gets caught in the offensive
Here's
thing.
the problem
like, oh
with that.
no,
There's nothing
I
wrong
got
with
offended
that.
by that.
If they were allowed to make fun of Muslims, if they were allowed to make fun of any other kind of race, they can make fun of white people, they can make fun of men, they can make fun of, but you can't make fun of women and other religions, but you can goddamn make fun of Christianity. See, I don't mind making fun of anybody. If it was free for all, I'd be doing it. You know, I mean, that's fine, but you can't. That's the whole hypocrisy of it. Is that it's discriminating, but they think they're the. So, anyways. They're all crying in this room. Everybody's like, there's like 10 people. It's one woman, and everyone has a fucking trans sister. My sister's trans, and my dad doesn't get it. So my dad and her don't talk, and he doesn't get it because, of course, it's a her. It's actually a him that turned into a her. And then this other person has his daughter who's a trans. You know, it's just it's all fucking. You know, they're all love fest. And so this one person goes, I'm trans masculine. My name, I want you to start calling me Stevie. And everyone's like, okay, we'll start calling you Stevie. You're so brave and strong. So this girl who is not, first of all, she's supposed to be non-binary, but leaning toward male, which creates the binary.
I know it gets complicated. I
And it's so it's not,
Yeah.
because you can't. It's not enough for you to be a trans man. You have to be trans masculine because trans men are boring now. No. I'm trans masculine. So I want you to. So she was next time she came. She actually he like I'm reading this fucking messages on because that whole night they're all just like, oh God, this is so wonderful, and I'm just not saying shit. And they're like, we're so they're so tolerant, they're patting the that whole virtue signaling. So we're walking out the door, and we're walking out the door, and one of the people there as we're leaving goes, God, I wish all the Republicans would just get murdered.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I know that they're.
Oh, there's your tolerance. Oh, you're
The tolerance is horrible. Yeah.
And
exactly.
Here's the thing. Like I said, I've been nothing but supportive to this group, to everybody in the group.
Yeah.
If
you treat them like human beings.
Because they treat me well, because despite their politics, their batshit shitty politics where they're thinking that kids can.
But if they only knew, then they would not treat you well.
They would not treat me well, and I know this with a certainty. It's not like, oh well, you're just being, and maybe someone would think of that, but they'd all go along with it, and someone would go, sorry, but you voting for that bastard makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right. Well,
so you make me feel uncomfortable, and since you make us feel uncomfortable, we don't want you in our group anymore because you don't support women, you don't support the trans people, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, dude, I've been here for a year and a half. You know who I am. I treat you with respect.
I've noticed,
it's fucking disgusting, man.
So much for tolerance.
Maybe they already have the trans and the gays in their back pocket already, so they don't have to hit that issue so much. But I've noticed that most of the issues, they're not talking about that at all. And I'm like,
they can't because it's a losing issue.
Well,
because she has to act like she's in the middle, right? Is that?
I don't know what I'm.
As far as
Kamala.
Who, like Trump and Kamala.
So Kamala has to act like she's a centrist, even though she's a left wing wacko.
Yeah,
right. She has to act like she's somewhere in the middle.
Well, of course. Well, if you notice, she's been trying to appeal more to the Republicans, like talking about we're not taking the guns away. The immigration, we're going to have a strong border policy.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, she started to backpedal a little bit.
She's the fakest puppet.
I know.
Elected, but I guess it just that's one thing that I'm kind of upset about this whole election is.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not, even if Trump wins, I'm not going to be able to get away from this in this city.
I was going to say something on the heels of your thing with the trans person in your group.
Oh, good.
My uncle's trans, and I told Cruise Control this, which he had no idea, by the way, and we're like best friends. You know what I'm saying? But that's the point. I mean, when my uncle used to be my aunt, and then she made the transition, it was subtle, and it wasn't this big celebrated thing. It was just kind of how it is. Now I just know my uncle is my uncle. I call him my uncle.
But how long ago did that happen?
Oh shit! I was like three or four.
That's what I'm saying. So back in the 80s or whatever,
they just wanted.
It was just hidden. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna tell my family members, but that's about it. I'm not gonna go parade it around and.
But that's it, though. I mean, it's like we just kind of all accepted it and it was cool with it, and that's. I was just told, Aunt Sherry is now being called Chris, and we're like, oh. Okay, and we didn't think shit of it. I mean, it was just and they referred to him as he now instead of her. So it's just like, oh, okay, and it wasn't nothing. I mean, it was just like it didn't have to be this big
because it's narcissism. Like I said,
totally.
It's a narcissistic quality. I'll just say a trait. I don't want to. Obviously, like I said, you don't want to go to full blown.
You don't want to over narcissize everybody.
Yeah, but it's definitely a trait, which is a need for identity confirmation. I need you to confirm my identity. So now, next time the person came, they brought a name tag and they had their name on them with their pronouns, and their pronouns are he, them, and
so complicated. I hate that.
Oh my god!
And it's all.
I'll see it on emails now too. People will say pronouns, she, her, blah blah blah. I'm like,
and everyone's like,
I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it.
Oh, I'm not doing that shit.
I'm
not doing that. Fuck that. Oh, no, hell no.
I refuse to do it.
I'm not rolling with all that. I mean, hey, I'm a live and let live type dude. You do what you want to, but
Yeah.
as long as it doesn't affect me, I'm good with it. But I'm not going to play the game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind with this group because like I said, I know what it's pragmatic with me. Like I know what I'm in, but I honestly also I'm not stupid, and I think at some point it's probably going to give. Some point someone's going to say something, or they might, who knows? And if it does, if it does, it does. But I'm also, but the thing that these people don't understand is that you can say, yeah, okay, her name is Stevie, basically.
Right.
It's like Stevie. Yes, I want everyone to call me Steve, not Steve, but Stevie. And my thing is, yeah, I'll go ahead and call you that. But the internal respect that I have, like there's just, I can go ahead and go, yeah, Stevie, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe it's like, oh, I'm gonna fight you on this. For me, it's like, yeah, whatever, or whatever, delusion. Go play with your toys. There's never gonna be a respect there. There's never gonna be something, because
well, that's all you can do, man. I mean, that's really. I mean, it wouldn't do any good for you to voice your opinion. I mean, it's just
like I said, the improv, the actual artistic stuff we do is fucking great. Like we did this Saw prov, and like we said, we all felt great about it. I'm all supportive of everybody, and I'm ever supportive of me. I'm running the jam for the group in a couple of weeks. But it's just, and the thing is, I'm also doing all these things knowing that if if somebody says, well, we don't feel comfortable, they're going to be the ones that can't sleep at night. They're going to be the ones going, oh wow, he treated me really well and treated everyone well and was very supportive and we just kicked him to the curb. So who's the actual asshole here? Like who's the actual? Is it going to be me? Am I going to go, oh God, I should have believed? No, I'm going to go. I know what I believe. And if it came out where I was actually asked directly, I wouldn't lie. But no one's asked me, and that's another thing about the cult. No one's asked me because they assume that I believe exactly what they do.
Good. Let them keep believing that.
That's fucking insane. Like, oh, we're not even going to fucking ask you.
It's everybody in their right mind.
Well, because everybody's in. I mean, if you live in Oregon, you're probably automatically assumed to kind of believe some of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that
what it is,
and that's the fact you're disabled, bro. You have to obviously,
right?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's probably because I'm disabled. Plus, I'm in theater, and plus, I'm not a complete asshole. I'm not a racist, cocksucking piece of garbage, Nazi. So I must believe what they do. These people are so insulated that they believe that these people who vote for Trump literally think that that believe in all Nazi Germany and all that shit. I don't give a fuck what you do.
Right.
I don't fucking care.
That's the point.
But that's what this poll, they love this virtue signaling. Oh, Stevie. Oh, hey, Stevie. Hi.
Well, I guess I don't know why it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, if you want to be a trans, masculine, whatever the fuck, I don't support it. I don't not support it. I mean, I want you to be happy.
You're neutral.
Why does it? I'm not.
Yeah, but we don't go around saying I'm heterosexual.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I'm
a cisgender.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not doing that, right?
No.
Right.
So it's just so stupid, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just what who gives a shit what your sexual this, that, whatever it is. It's like I don't care.
I don't know or care what you do behind closed doors.
Right.
Well, and I don't really necessarily want to know, and it might have nothing to do with transgender. I mean, you don't necessarily have to fuck sheep for me not to want to know about it.
Yeah.
I don't need to know what you're doing.
Because you know what to do with sheep. We take them,
throw them in the back and let the livestock fuck them.
Right.
Yeah, so do what you're gonna do.
I was thinking the same thing, but my mouth was full.
But that's not acceptable though. You have to love it. You gotta fucking be. God damn it, you're so amazing. I'm trans, masculine, feminine, bipartisan, and I've got fucking.
But I don't want to know. There are some people where I don't want to know anything.
Yes.
About what they do behind closed door, because I had a client actually who had mentioned something about his back hurt after he was intimate with his wife, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to know about that. Oh,
well, yeah, of course.
Bad picture in my head,
Right. Same thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's heterosexual sex or gay sex or
Well, and
Yeah.
then sometimes it's
auto
just,
sex
you know,
or-
the person itself. I'm like, I really didn't want to picture you guys doing it. I just did, you know.
Do you happen to know his wife too, or no?
Yes, I do.
Oh
And
boy.
actually, on the one hand, I've had clients say something like that, and it's more like, "Hey, how'd you throw your back out?" And they're like, "Well, honestly, you know, an intimate." I'm like, "Okay, gotcha." But
You was beating some walls up. Yeah, okay, got you.
you know, yeah, and so sometimes, you know, you do need to know for the story purposes or whatever. But it
Right.
was just this one. I'm like, "Oh, that was way just too much information. I don't want it. You know, I don't want to know. I don't care what
Mhm.
you do. You know, I don't need to know details."
Yeah, and that used to be
Right.
the way. That used to be what all these people wanted. That was the whole thing back when we were growing up. Is I don't want you. I don't care. I don't want you to care about my sexual orientation. I just want you to treat me like a normal quote unquote person. And that
Yeah.
shifted and shifted and shifted because, like I said, our society has shifted toward attention economy, where everything about attention is like, look at me, oh look at, and it also forces people to judge you if you're out and about your stuff, and they deem that you're not treating them well. I told you all about my stuff and you're not acting this, then they have a reason to feel oppressed and medicated.
I think Max for once is right.
Oh,
I'm always right.
whoa!
I'm always right. What you talking about?
What do you mean? What do you mean, Louie?
The whole thing about because you have a disability, that's why they don't question you. I think if you didn't have a disability, they might.
They might say, well, so what do you feel about this here,
Right,
cruise
right.
control?
It's an interesting.
But being
I
that your
thought about that
disability
too.
gives you Jesus points,
we're
as it were.
blind, everybody's like, oh yeah, they probably believe in the same liberal
he's gotta
bullshit
be.
that we do.
Well, I've had people
Yeah.
say that to me. Well, but you're blind, and I'm
You
like,
know,
yeah.
it's interesting because it's the whole intersectionality thing. It also makes
Oh,
me.
Lord.
It gives me.
I hate that word too.
It gives me, but it gives me a quote unquote trump card. Pun intended. Is that I can be like, wait, no, I'll be like, wait a second, motherfuckers.
Not
Ever
a
since I
camo
was,
card, but a Trump card. Is that yeah?
because here's the thing: if it came to the point where it was about that, they would ignore the disability because it wouldn't fit their. They would focus on my whiteness and my maleness, and my
Right,
straightness.
Yeah, exactly.
But I could be like, no, wait a second, motherfuckers. I'm a minority everywhere I go. I always have been since I was born. I do not know what it's like not to be a minority. 95% of the population have better eyesight than I do. So
Yeah.
you want to talk to me about minorities? I could bring out all the shit that's happened to me.
Yeah, I used to pull that card and say that I'm a minority of a minority, but then I don't do that anymore.
I don't do it anyway. My point is that I don't want to do that, but my point is it just shows their hypocrisy. But if I was like, listen, bitches, because you're just a man, you're not. I'm like, listen,
if they want to throw that at you, that's where you right away would go. Hey, look, motherfucker. I'm a minority everywhere I go.
Yeah, I've been talking to people and the strangers in public since I was 2, talking to me about why I'm smelling shit and other shit. If I wanted to go down that route, and I don't want to go down that route. But like I said, that's definitely a good possibility. Also, because like I said, when you get insulated in these communities, and when especially out here where it's just complete, just batshit liberal, like literal, like flat pride flags painted on fences, on streets and shit like that. Churches that are completely like liberal.
I mean, again, fly your flag, homie. I don't give a shit. It doesn't affect me. Once it starts affecting me, that's when I have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? What happened there, cruise control? I heard you go,
we got a couple of updates. Trump is winning. Looks like he's going to go Georgia, Iowa, and here's the thing: Iowa yesterday, they were, oh my god, Iowa's going to go for Kamala. She's 8 points ahead or something. Like, no, Iowa's going to go to Trump. Looks like they had a recall in Virginia, which because they basically thought that it was going to be going toward Kamala, but they had to retract that because now Trump has taken the lead in Virginia.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I was, like I said, I guess
what do we gotta know? Do you know like what time?
Well, here's another problem. They're saying, well, certain votes in certain cities might take several days.
Yeah,
they're doing all that shit again. They're trying to prep us for that. But that's why everyone had to go out and vote. Too big to rig. Because here's a couple of things that could happen that would just totally make these people lose their shit. And that's another reason why I'm going to be staying inside in this fucking town, because they're going to be rioting if he loses. I guarantee you they will be fucking rioting across this country if he wins this election. There's no question in my mind about it. Especially in the liberal cities. But if he wins the popular vote and the electoral college, they can't say shit about getting rid of the electoral college anymore, because that's a big fucking thing. They want to get rid of the electoral college because it should be the popular vote, because only
Well, I
if
used
he
to think
wins
that way.
both, then they can't say shit. Because last time it was all about Hillary won the popular vote, Biden won the popular vote. Blah, blah, blah.
I kind of agree with that, though. I don't have a problem with getting rid of the electoral college.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
that was always my thing too. Like I would say, electoral college, but should be, what the people want, right?
Well, the problem is that 90% of the people are all in these urban areas, and they're all Democrat strongholds. And the reason why they have the electoral college is because people in rural areas, they have to have at least some way of saying, because what's the point? Because they would never, that's why we have swing states, and that's why they change every 4 years, is because they go to different places, because these are the things that can alter the election. And I get the idea of the popular vote being but the problem is, like I said, like they're all constant. They would never go to the middle of the country. If they would ignore the middle of the country completely if it was the popular vote.
Well, but then think about this though, because how about like if you have a state like California that's really big, and you have a gubernatorial election? Well, Southern California, especially when you go down into the Orange County and San Diego areas, is extremely conservative. And then up where I am is extremely liberal. And then you go up further up into like Nevada City and these rural, places of Willits, and that it goes back conservative again. And it's a huge state. So it covers a lot of territory. So how would we make sure that's fair? You know what I mean? I just don't know.
But the popular vote in each state dictates whether they win the electoral vote.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, and also remember that the United States were meant to be individual states who each equally had a space, so that they were not like a whole, like it was meant to be a loose band of states that were together, cobbled together.
Correct,
the federal government wasn't supposed to be this whole
He's
thing.
taking his history class seriously.
So, and also we're not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic. That's another thing too.
Right, exactly.
That's correct. That's correct.
So the idea is almost kind of interesting, because the people that don't want the minority to have any say are the people that are supposedly always talking about the minority.
Right.
We care about the minority.
Well, of course, they got to parade them around, man, so they could look.
What is the minority? See, this is actually really interesting. It was on a comedy show that I love. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and they actually kind of go into this.
I'll tell you, so many people have told me to watch that, by the way.
You need to. But they had this one, and it's about, the bathroom. Like, should guys be able to use the girls' bathroom? And it just goes off on this whole tangent. But they go into that, like, well, wait a minute, who is a minority? And they break it down. They say, well, actually in Philadelphia, 53% are women, 53, so it turns out that like all these, the majority is what was perceived as the minority, because we use that term so loosely, because it doesn't really mean a minority anymore. It means an ethnicity that is not white or is not male.
Doesn't mean there's less
or
of
a
you.
gender that's not male, but you could be in the majority. So I just hate the term, because it's like, well, I'm a minority, but I'm white.
You could go to certain areas and be the minority as a white person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at that point,
correct.
You know what I'm saying?
So walk into Harlem and tell me who's the minority.
Yeah, who's the minority there?
Right.
Exactly. So, and shit, like we were saying before, even as blind people, shit, we're always the minority in pretty much every situation, in most at least.
Are we though? We're always the minority in general population.
Sure. No, she said general population too.
Right, because we're always a minority if you just look at the human race, right? But when you go to a school for the blind, you're not the minority.
Well, that's true.
That's true. So what you're trying to say is it's environmentally dictated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly.
It is.
That's all in the environment where you're at.
That's fair.
And that brings me to something. I went and did this thing about a week or so ago. I went to this group, this organization, Nevada Blind Children's Foundation. And
was it the Blind Center?
no. The Blind Center is for adults.
Did you take your blind shell?
I got my blind shell.
No.
I always got my blind shell.
Oh
That shit,
no!
that's my dope shit right there. I love the blind. That's
Your
a
blind
positive.
shell?
Blind shell.
Oh,
So I went to this this group, or this organization, where they do stuff, for the blind kids. It's almost like a kind of a school. I don't really know what all they got. They got a lot of different stuff there. Anyway, I'm watching these kids, and these kids were like high school age, and none of them were like how we were, back when we were at camp. Shit, we were rapping. We were talking about getting fucked up. We were doing usual teenager shit, where these kids were just like very sheltered. And like there was one kid there that was 15 years old and he was in 8th grade. And I'm going, son of a bitch. When I was in 8th grade, I was 13. And then there was another girl there that was like, she was like 21, but I think she was still in high school. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like, like they didn't have the same support we did when we were going.
Do they have any kind of other disability as well? Like,
you know what? I don't know. The one kid, the kid that was 15 in 3rd grade, I mean, he didn't seem, outwardly, I couldn't tell if there was anything inherently up with him.
Clearly, they need Adderall.
Yeah, I think exactly. Adderall will do the trick.
That's it.
Yeah.
Adderall will fix it. But this is what they're calling. This is their idea of what they're calling inclusion, and it's like actually excluding more, because now it's putting them in their little box, what I'm saying, where they belong, what their people's is.
Hey, Cruz, where are you getting your results from? I haven't seen Georgia flip yet.
I'm just looking at Twitter. There's other things going on some last minute shit there, so I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, cool.
Looks like there's a couple things going on. The Harris campaign is going silent on people. They're not saying anything like Fox or anything.
Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, that's how it's going now with the I don't know. They're different. Blind kids don't have, in my opinion, they just don't have what we had growing up. You know what I'm saying? I think we got the best setup. How we had
I think we were right in the middle, because if you think about it, like we went too far the other way. So when before our time, a lot of blind people were brought up in boarding schools and treated like shit, and they were treated like babies, like they weren't expected to do anything. And then we had sort of the emergence of we can do what you guys can do to.
But I honestly give kudos to our parents.
Yeah. Well, our
parents and our siblings, because
and our teachers too. We had some rocket ass teachers too.
Yeah, that's
at least we did. Cruise Control and I did. Shit.
So I mean, they. Yep. My brother would hit me as hard as he wanted to. You know what I mean? Like we'd fight. We'd box.
So did mine.
We would box. Like we would literally box. And I know I couldn't see him that well, so of course he'd get me in my face and shit. I'm like, oh no, he got me good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Beat each other's asses.
For me, it was my bros. It was my friends. I'm my friends.
Yeah, me too. Same
too.
thing. My friends too. Yeah.
Get punched in the stomach or in the face and just oh shit. Like that's how it was, man. You took an ass whooping sometimes, but that's what it was.
Well, yeah, but I think that nowadays it goes beyond just blind people, deaf people, and all of that. Mm-hmm. You see immaturity because we've gone too far into making everybody feel safe and making everybody feel good instead of hitting people with a hard dose of reality sometimes. So I see it a lot. Maybe not the 21-year-old who's in high school. That's a little obvious, or that's interesting.
I will say she, I think, did have some other stuff going on.
But you do see it a lot with the maturity level of people who, in my opinion, we had a 25-year-old lady working with us. Now I say 25-year-old lady because when I was 25, I had my career for 4 years, and I was very different than the 25-year-olds that I see now, where I'm like, you're not even acting 25, you're acting 17. Because we don't want to take people to task.
Well, I think that's all that goes along with everything societal, because that person in that group, that I want you to call me this because I'm a ba ba da da, and everyone's going, "Oh boy, you're a dick, yay!" And it's like treating people like, and she's 21.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, "Oh, go Stevie, I want to be called Stevie."
Right. And it just
That really annoys you, doesn't it?
It's just so because okay, listen, it's just so there's something so fundamentally like off about it.
Yeah.
And I hope no one's. I try to keep myself away from it. Like I don't think anybody listens.
What
to
do
this.
you want to be called? Is there a name that you?
Yeah.
Wants to be called cruise control.
I
yeah,
feel-
cruise control. Yeah, that's what I like, dude. Yeah, this
I
is I
feel
really want my
that
real name
you
to
need a
be.
name. Would you feel better if we gave you?
Yeah, give me. I want a new name. Call me
I want to be Teddy.
Teddy. Teddy. Call me
I like my
Dog.
name, so I don't know.
I like my name too. Cruise control is great.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's kind of going back just to end that little part of the conversation. So you guys, I know you guys wouldn't handle it the same way I would, but I'm. It's just interesting, like loving to do something and being enjoying it so much, but knowing that you're almost inevitably going to be dealing with some people that are going to look at you differently simply because maybe not simply, maybe they deserve to look at me differently. I don't know. Maybe the way the world is right now, especially because I don't like, it's not like I'm like looking at them going, wow, their politics are amazing. I'm going, people don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You still believe the very fine people comment. You still believe that he called.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You believe that he actually said whatever the whole stuff about Puerto, everything about all the different things. He's a Nazi, the Nazi.
Yeah. So I was gonna talk to you about that one. What they're doing is they're putting Tony Hinchcliffe's words in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that he said it, and I'm like, dude, it was a comedian. Go watch it. It was a comedian who said it.
Yeah, it wasn't that funny.
And
I'm not
and
tracking
he didn't
what
say
happened.
he didn't say that Puerto Ricans. He didn't say that Puerto Ricans were garbage. He said that Puerto Rico was filled with garbage, which
this was the Trump thing that Jericho
at the quote Nazi rally at MSG.
Yeah, which I didn't know that. I didn't know that. He actually brought up a possible valid point that it's probably a very trashy city, and that
but you see how they
something needs to be done about it.
They'll take little sound bites and pieces.
Trashy Commonwealth, whatever.
They'll take bits and pieces of shit that was said and then mix it up and then somehow make them say, "Oh, Puerto Ricans are all trash," and it's like, well, no, that's not what he fucking said.
That's all they do. They don't have anything else, and they are inciting violence. This is why people hate Trump and hate his supporters. This is why they said, "I want to murder Republicans," because if they're Nazis, why wouldn't you want to murder them?
Of course, anybody in their right mind
wants
voting
to murder
toward
Nazis. I mean, they're all Nazis. They're all evil, even the black and the Latinos and the Jewish Nazis. I mean, they're all
the Jewish Nazis. That's such a stupid.
Well, there were Jewish flags hanging in the Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden, and there were Puerto Ricans in there, like with their Puerto Rican flags, laughing. It wasn't a funny. I didn't find it that much fun.
It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny.
But I know what it is.
But part of me is like, hey, I didn't know that there was a garbage problem in Puerto Rico.
Apparently there is.
Yeah, but there is. And I didn't know it was either. Now I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, thank you, Mr. Hinchcliffe, whatever the fuck
his name is.
Heathcliff.
The cat.
I mean, his name is wacky to Hinchcliffe. That's his actual name, Hinchcliffe.
Hinchcliffe. Oh, okay.
And he's on this Kill Tony podcast, and it's one of the most popular. I'm not a huge fan of some of the insult comedy. It's somewhat funny, but it was just a bad joke, and it was badly played at the wrong place. But that's also a part of the attention economy too. He didn't hurt from it; he got more attention from it. That's all he wanted.
Yeah, that's all he wants.
He got his fucking little moment where
15 minutes of fame or whatever.
But anyway, so we all but
see, that's the
voted.
Yeah, well, and see the big tool they're all using now is fear mongering on both sides.
Okay.
See, that's been my bitch. Like what you were saying, cruise control. Oh, they're gonna all start rioting tomorrow, and maybe not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you'll have to see.
I'll bet. And so what I predict is definitely where I am. They will not, but they will probably drive down to San Francisco and do it there.
So
Yeah.
they're probably doing it in Portland.
Because
for
they're
you,
not going to
man.
do
Yes.
it in their back. They're not going to do it like the affluent place where I am. They don't want to get
Well,
their yards dirty, right? But
don't
they'll
shit
go
in your
down the
backyard.
city
exactly.
and
Mhm.
march.
Of course, because they can destroy the minority businesses that they claim to support so
Yeah.
much.
So
Right. They'll
stupid.
burn down. They'll
It's
burn
so
down
dumb.
Pedro's taco shop as a I hate corporate America. Okay, well,
I'm going by the summer of 2000, the summer of quote unquote summer of love in 2020, and they did it in Portland, they did it in Seattle, they did it here in Eugene too. And I think
Did
it's
they?
going to be the same. Yes, of course, because dude, this place is fucking so bad.
I mean, they rioted here too, but it was like an isolated, like
no, this place is like we're
Fremont or
literally
some
in the middle of that. Like people have to be, like I said, be quiet. You know, have to be like the women. Did you guys see those ads? And that's another thing about these fucking the ads about don't tell your husband, don't tell your husband that you voted for Koala.
I've seen that.
Your
That's
husband,
Jesus.
you can
I have
lie
not
to your
seen that one.
husband so that because of course Trump supporters are going to beat their wives unless they vote for Trump.
Right.
Yeah, of course. Like, bitch, you voted for Kamala? I'm gonna whoop your ass because I'm part of the male patriarchal white male conservative capitalist patriarchal regime. That was my big, remember back in the day.
Mhm.
So
well, why would you tell anybody?
What does that spell? What is it supposed to spell?
white male conservative capitalist patriarchal regime. That's just something that that all the like the woke people at that time, bro, you're part of the white male conservative capitalist patriarchal regime, bro.
Well, see, the thing is, it all stemmed from that. Like I was
WMCPR.
WMCCPR.
CCPR.
You can ask
Okay.
Max. I think Koala, you wanted to say something first, though.
I actually no, I totally lost it.
Okay.
She's sounding like Koala Harris.
Exactly. The name's getting to me.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that.
The name is getting to me.
Oh, shit.
I was raised in a middle class family. Okay.
There you go. All right. See,
You can ask,
with your sister,
Yes.
and then your mom bought a house.
and you also worked at You also worked at McDonald's too.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were
dude. Kamala worked at McDonald's as a fry cook.
Sure she did.
I'm sure. Oh wow, yeah.
Except there's no records of it.
No, of course not.
But what I was going to say was, I've been talking about this. You can ask Max since the '90s. I've been into this kind of shit since the '90s. Since all this Rush, I listened to Rush Limbaugh in the early '90s and shit.
Well, I remember. Yeah, you did. You were big. You liked this TV show.
I've been reading. I was reading about the academia crap since the '90s. So just seeing all this stuff come into the play like this, just over the last like 5 years, 10 years, it's just been.
Well, it's like everything. Like I said, that both sides are using fear mongering. Oh, they're going to take away Social Security. That's not going to fucking happen. Oh, they're going to destroy Medicare. No, that's not going to fucking happen either. That's the left is doing that.
You know what's really weird about that? When I was watching the debate with Kamala and Trump.
Yeah.
Trump had said something that was like, whoa, I didn't never even heard that before. It was almost like he was trying to get rid of Obamacare, but he couldn't figure out anything that was any better. And I'm like, really? That's kind of crazy to say, even though you're like going against he's basically saying, yeah, we're trying to figure it out, but we haven't figured out something that's been better yet. And so that's why I've kept it.
We're working on trying to find something better.
Well, it needs reforms. And I think that's very valid. And so nobody is going to want to get rid of Medicare.
But it's just weird because he's so certain. He's so certain about all of his policies, but that one was like, I don't know what to do with that yet. I really don't know what to do.
I ain't got there yet. Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's like a good, that's a good thing. Cause it's like, you don't have to have all the answers or know all the answers.
Well,
oh, well, I have an answer for you.
Well, everybody supposedly knows, that's why you hear all these stupid commercials. Oh, Trump wants to cut Social Security. I've heard that every single fucking election. They want
Oh.
to cut Social Security. They want to do.
Oh,
but,
I see it. So you being a swing state, I bet you've seen all kinds of
Oh
ads. Huh?
God, I
Oh.
yeah. When I used to, it's all and Nevada's been a swing state for a while. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
guys get a
seeing
lot.
both. I see that Trump wants to ban all abortions and all this other wild shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I guess this fear mongering shit works so good during COVID. You figure you could use it as a tactic now in the election. So that's what's going on there.
Yeah,
they've always
it's
done
crazy
that.
though, because like we're
true.
we're a Republican
I
state.
think
They
they
don't
stepped
worry
it up
about
there.
us.
Oh yeah, you're in Texas, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
By the way,
they
you're
don't-
already called. I think.
Oh, is he?
pretty much. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
we already
No,
called.
let's get an update. By the way, guys, they looks like they're officially calling Ohio and Iowa, or at least some places are.
Okay.
So right now it's 210 Trump, 112 Harris, 60 to go.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
we'll see.
I have 210 and 113. So I guess she won one of those like
What
how
came through as you were?
like Nebraska, I guess maybe.
Or something.
There's one that has like I think it has like 3 votes, but like part of Nebraska could go one way, and then part of Nebraska could go another way, and I think she won the other half or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm surprised
right
she got
now
any votes
it's
in Nebraska.
210 to 112, which is obviously pretty damn good. 60 to go, but
It's good, but you got some of these
Keep
major
voting.
most of these major West Coast
Yeah.
can't vote anymore. I don't think. Let's see.
no, it's 8 o'clock is the cutoff time for a lot of them. So
Yeah, it's
right
almost
there.
8 o'clock. So.
So it's almost 8 o'clock over there. Okay.
Yep.
You
So
guys
they're
got
done.
a little bit longer to go. There you go.
So, well, what do we got? Hawaii yet? Right? That's what's fuck are they going to be doing, man? Because they're
no one gives a shit about Hawaii.
couple more hours.
No one gives a shit about
I was
it.
gonna say they got at least 3 more hours, don't they?
Well, I'm not.
Some-
I wish I were joking, but look at the fire that happened there. Oprah cared. Yeah, right.
Of course, they all
yeah, right.
did. Voices that care are singing out loud. Duh. Sorry.
Wow.
Voices that care.
You guys remember that?
Stand up, stand
Stand
proud.
tall.
Voices that care are
I have never heard of
shouting
that.
out loud.
Really?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
When you
dude, that was for the
close
Desert
your
Storm
eyes
thing
tonight.
in the
No,
90s.
it
Oh,
was before
it's Desert Storm?
It was before Voice. Yeah, it was right around that time. It was one of
Even
those,
even Will Smith was on that shit.
it was a
my
second rate We Are the World.
We Are the,
like, a
yeah,
couple
it was
years
the We
later.
Are the World
okay.
1990s version.
I think I do remember now. I think.
Almost as bad as Hands Across America.
Yeah, I was actually part of that.
Never tell us about that, Hands.
Were you? Yeah.
It's Across America.
Yes,
Hands
Where everybody
I actually
holds
did
hands
that.
I did it
I
too at
actually
my
did
church. It was like I was
We didn't do any of that shit. Well, actually, no. In 4th grade, we had to sign "We Are the World." We had to do a sign
dang.
language version of "We Are the World."
A blind guy doing sign language.
Yes, exactly. There was 2 of us. My buddy John Allen and myself.
Yeah.
We're being taught how to do. Now, obviously, we couldn't do the major singing parts, but we could do the "We Are the World," "We Are the Children." The shit that they showed us.
Are you signing it right now as you're speaking it as you're singing it?
You know what? I don't even remember half those motherfucking. That was 4th grade.
And that was a pivotal moment in your adolescent development.
Man,
He wasn't even an adolescent. He was probably
in
like
4th grade,
10.
man. I was elementary school.
Yeah. Well,
It was like 1985, right?
Yep, exactly.
God, it was
Exactly when it was.
spring of '85. Good God,
Spring of
remember that.
'85, my friends. Yep, that's when it was.
And who was all
and,
on that?
and,
It was
and then we went to
everyone.
Bloomfield and then almost got burned
we got
up.
sent home because of the fire. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep, that was 80. That was yeah. I remember laying my head. I was thinking about it the other day. I was
Sleeping in the gym.
No, it was before that. We were on this concrete slab out on the
beach.
On the beach
Yes,
for
on the
like
beach,
6
yes.
hours, and I was laying my head down on a paper plate.
Yeah, it was so stupid.
Just to bring Koala up to speed, there was a wildfire that was like 4 miles out from the camp, right? So they made us evacuate. We all went to Zuma Beach, but they wouldn't even let us grab our towels or swim trunks or anything.
Yeah, we didn't have no swimming gear.
We had nothing. We were just
a bunch
sitting
of
there.
blinkies sitting on the goddamn concrete, like tarmac or whatever by the beach.
We weren't
for
even
like
on the
6
sand.
hours.
Yeah, we were sitting on this. Like I said, we were on this. That's what I remember. On this, like 4 or 5. We were there for a long time. And
Why did they have you on the sand?
because they had they
They didn't
awful
want us
planning.
getting dirty, I guess. They didn't want us getting messy, so they figured
Because
that,
they had a plan. Their plan was to take us back to the Foundation for the Junior Blind,
yep.
which is in LA area, which is far away from Bloomfield, which is like maybe about an hour away.
That's right.
Like that.
It was like an hour drive. They put us all in that bus, and
Yeah.
I remember dozing off, man, and my head was like.
So when
Yep.
what I used to do, like, you know, the LA kids, you guys are the Vegas kids. The LA kids, we would go to the Foundation for the Junior Blind, get on one of those buses, and travel the whole way. So we were used to that little trip. You know what I mean? That's
Actually,
how
we went from
that's
LAX,
how we got
though.
there.
A lot of us Vega people got picked up from LAX.
Vega?
Yeah, Vega people. We got transported from the LAX airport to Camp Bloomfield, you know, on that bus.
Yeah, this is what we had to do. Is since we couldn't go home, since parents couldn't pick us up, we had to go to the FJ, the foundation. Like I said, we were sitting in a gym for a couple days.
Yeah,
just for one day, I think I was like that one night, that Sunday night, and then the next day they're like, "Well, we're gonna send all you guys home, so we're gonna mail all your shit back to you." I don't even know how they kept track of who's.
I don't know how they.
I don't even know how they did that either, because I think I got a couple of things I won't even mind. Like, shit.
Really?
Oh, really?
Well,
I'm sure they guessed.
So I remember you guys actually got sent home before the LA kids did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the LA kids. So at Foundation for the Junior Blind, they had what's called a day camp, and I used to go to that. I used to go to that day camp even when, you know. So it's basically like a summer program or whatever. It's like a summer thing.
You went there daily, like during the summer.
Yeah.
It was just your thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for the times that I went to camp, then I wouldn't go there, right?
Because you didn't.
It was almost like business as usual. It was like, okay, you know, you guys come here and your parents will pick you up tonight. I'm like,
so
okay,
there was.
cool.
You're just at day camp chilling like you normally would.
Yeah. Like we play basketball. So the gym usually was, you know, I had basketball court in the gym.
Oh,
not all the sleeping bags like we had.
That's right. There were sleeping bags all over that gym that night. Oh man. Wait, where did the girls sleep then? Did they put the girls in the gym too?
No.
No, they were in the gym, I think.
Were they?
I don't
think so.
What's really weird is that I think I have selective memory about that because I don't remember half.
No, because I remember that's the first time I ever kissed a girl. I kissed Trina Fey.
I remember Trina.
I kissed Trina Fey in the we were kissing in the gym a couple of times. Yeah, because I was like,
shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember if you knew who Trina Fey was.
I'm trying to think. I don't remember.
She was a Vega person too.
Yeah, rest in peace, Trina. She passed away.
And her and Cruise Control and Jason used to fight over her all the time. That was the
when
big.
We were like 8, or 9. Then she
got
older. And she
girl,
got whoa. Yeah, we were in that drama. You know, man, bro.
But as she got older, what did you think, man? Would you still beat the brakes off that pussy?
No. She was fucking dumb as a post and also just no.
I think I remember that. I think I remember the older version of that person.
Yeah, when she was in high school.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, she was kind of dingy, huh? That's
that.
right. She was dingy as fuck.
Yeah.
And then her other dingy ass friends, that Tiffany chick, you guys called her Tiffalo because she looked like Shiloh. Anyway, I think we're getting a little too deep on it, man. Talking reminiscent.
Yeah, anyways, you're right, reminiscent of that. But
going back to a better time, but you know, I get you.
It was a better time in terms of like, because this shit wouldn't have, like, these people, like, you wouldn't have this going on. You could have friends that you could go, oh man, I'm voting for.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was like a friendly rivalry type deal.
Right around that time, apparently, the whole country was in agreement for Ronald Reagan. So,
right. Well, even people that weren't,
and crack got invented shortly after that.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe all of a sudden, you know, crack came into play, and everybody's like, you know, everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's a fucking whack job. But
yeah, so we're fucking. Looks like it. Everything's leaning the right way, guys. At least the way that we want it to. All 4 of us, except
which is
for
the
Koala.
right way.
It is the right way.
Yes, because we're right, and
of course,
we are actually right in this situation, and because we actually pay attention to shit.
They called California, so she got that one. Of course.
Well, we kind of figured that was going to go down.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But you know,
but like they're giving, even the New York Times giving like an 87% chance that Trump's going to win this. So but then again, Last time,
Mhm.
well, no. How do you guys feel about that? Because last time I was like, when I went to, I went to bed late.
Stolen
So
election. That's what I think.
I thought,
Oh, it was
but
definitely. I mean, there was some game playing going on for sure because the fact that
Mhm.
fucking, Captain Colostomy won the fucking won the 2020 fucking award.
well, they
Vote.
100,000 voter dump. It's not going to make a difference this year because I really think that it's just too inevitable. Like that was so close. It was like, and with all the things going
Yeah,
on,
that was rigged as.
is that how
fuck.
you guys
I'm
are
sorry.
feeling about it? I mean,
Yes.
let's give
Yes.
Yeah. I'm hoping that it doesn't get rigged.
I don't think Kamala believes that. Koala.
Koala. See, now you're calling her Koala.
No, that was all
Oh,
your fault,
shit.
Koala. You started that.
That was
I
a
know.
slip of the tongue. I apologize.
Yeah. But you know what? You just have to deal with it, Koala, because that's just the way it
is.
is.
Oh, God.
Ding.
I heard that the other day too. Where
Oh,
it was
really?
like,
Oh, yeah?
no.
Did you think of me?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of fond of the song now just because of all the laughing about it.
You know what? See, that can happen. You can make fun of a song so much that, like a song you hated so badly, and then you start liking it. You're like,
Yeah.
damn, I actually kind of like what was the song I used to hate, but then I started to make fun of it, and I'm like, I actually kind of like it now. Oh, Nelly, country grammar. I used to think that was a dumb fucking song. I was like, going down, down, baby, your street in a Range Rover. I'm like, man, what the fuck is this? But then as I listened to it,
That is kind of a dumb song.
it is kind of dumb. But then I cracked on it so much, I was like, it's actually kind of cool.
The only thing that I like about that song is that he says, "I got a street sweeper, baby, ready to let it go." I was like, a street sweeper? That's like a bazooka.
Let it go, shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff.
Yeah, like that's a bazooka.
Damn, that's
of course, but they were talking about street sweepers and rap for a while, man. That was even Ghetto Boys. Actually, Scarface is the first person to mention a street sweeper, I think.
So hit you with the street sweeper. That's true.
As he says, if the pump don't keep you, I'll be forced to hit you with the street sweeper. Yeah. Yep.
Washington's been called.
Of course.
Oh, okay. What do they got? Kamala?
Oh, that's Kamala.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, I figure.
I'm waiting to see Oregon.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be called.
Yeah, we know what's going on with that.
Yeah, that would be very strange if it was.
But my point in voting, because that's another reason, is I wanted to win the popular vote. I wanted to crush.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's a conscience thing. I just felt this time I don't vote much. I don't believe in either party really. I think a lot of I think they're all uniparty, and that's why I kind of like this because
that's it. That's why
I'm not really voting. I didn't really vote for Trump in himself, anyways. I like J.D. Vance. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I like Vivek. Mm-hmm. I like RFK. Some of the things he does, some of the things he says. But
are you more of an independent then?
Yes, but I'm more independent, leaning conservative, leaning Republican. Like I don't like Democrats because of the woke stuff, and they've always been woke. They've always been about the race baiting. They've always been about that stuff. I've always leaned Republican. But in terms of like the actual Republicans, like Mitch McConnell and those fucking retards, they're not. They're all the same. They're all
shit.
That's why Cheney and Romney all endorsed Kamala, and everyone's going, "Oh my God, Dick Cheney."
This is why. Yeah, this is why I don't claim either party because they all.
Cheney's a hero.
They all dick lurp each other, man. They're all playing for the same team, and that's for a long time. That's why I didn't vote. You know what I mean? I was like, man, fuck all these motherfuckers.
Well, how Trump called Liz Cheney a war hog or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he called her a war hog. Like she's like basically like a person who wants to always go to war. And I started thinking about that, and I'm like, you know what? A lot of them people want to go to war.
Of course,
that's why they want to.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Money. It's money. Of course, it brings in money. It's corporate America bullshit again.
You go to war. You put your stock investments into Boeing, into other places that make.
That's right. We'll make money, Chimpy.
Whatever.
Flood my hair with pieces of last night's dinner.
Just to read some stuff. Breaking: CNN is now reporting that Kamala Harris's headquarters has fallen into complete silence, with crowds of supporters visibly tense, with some seen pacing while others are beginning to lose hope as updates come in.
Oh shit! Uh-oh. Well,
yeah. So I mean, it's sort of close right now. Just according to what I'm looking at, it's 214 to 179. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah,
kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Like I said, if it,
Are you panicking yet, Maxwell?
I'm trying
not.
not to.
I'm chilling. I'm cool.
Because see, here's the thing.
He
It's-
said, yeah.
See,
I'm chilling. I'm good.
still definitely part of me is still going, because last time I thought I kind of was like, oh, looks like Trump's going to win.
Like we got this, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
And then they're like, nope, because Pennsylvania is going to take long to vote. So if they, it hope so that's why.
And
he
of
needs to
course.
take
That's why
one of
I
those-
hope he takes one of
yeah.
these other states. These
Very
other
Well,
states.
that was all the
Yeah.
deep state diaper drinking that they were doing last time. Remember, everybody was like,
I know, but I mean, who's to say it won't happen again?
well, yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, you know what? And hey, actually, funny enough that you brought up the Camp Bloomfield fire, because remember the following year, we all didn't want to go back to camp. Remember, we're like, man, what if that shit happens again? And of course, it didn't. But
you know what the funny thing about that is?
I wanted to go back
Yeah.
because
Oh,
it
we
was
did.
a new. It was a new person. So I was
did.
like, I didn't like that guy
Joe
Bernstein.
Bernstein? Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't
one
like
did.
him.
No one liked Joe.
no, he was out of place, man.
Yeah,
he
he was like
I didn't like him
this.
at
He was
all.
like the head of an HOA.
Yeah, he was.
He sure
was
fucking
bunk.
was.
And you
By
know
the
what
way,
we
we're
need?
pretty
We
much-
need-
He's trying to segue over here. He's
But
trying to
if you
segue.
want some-
He's Anthony.
You want some
Or
HOA?
no, which one? Who's
That's
the
PJ. You're thinking of PJ.
PJ?
PJ.
Yeah. Well, by the
Okay.
way, PJ,
Right.
we're all
PJ.
we're all in kind of a fuck PJ mode now. So like all three of us have kind of like become the anti PJ coalition. So anytime he like sends out anything, we always make sure we vote against it. That kind of thing. And yeah, so and shit that he wants, we always like, no, we don't want that. We're voting against it. Or things that he does want, we vote, or things that he doesn't want, we vote for it.
I love that it doesn't matter what it is. It's just it could be for the good of the building, but you're still going to vote against it because it's PJ.
Well,
that
no,
sounds
here's the
like
thing,
it's
though,
Trump.
because-
He's become Trump.
Right, exactly.
Oh no, actually, you know what? Here's the thing, because he has all these crazy ideas. Like, for instance, he wants to have our attorney. There's three owners specifically he wants to call to a hearing and blah blah blah. So he wants our attorney at the next board meeting. And so we're all going, look, every time we get the attorney there, it's going to cost us more money.
Right.
So, fuck that. Well, then this dude, PG, actually went to the point of asking the attorney if he'll do it pro bono. And
Which he'd be crazy if he said yes.
well, that's it. All of us are going, what attorney's going to work for free?
Why would he do that?
Because he believes in your home. He believes in your apartment complex
Right.
turned homeowners.
I believe what you're
Association.
doing over there, Pete Jizzle. Let me tell you something.
We need
Yeah.
to get these three people in these fucking little apartments so they can be persecuted because they have a fucking pottery plant on their fucking balcony that's causing people's
Yeah,
get
God
upset.
damn it. And this person, and they have a, actually, it's kind of funny because,
That screen door is not up to par with.
yes.
well, there was something about there's some stupid rule about political signs, actually, which is funny because PGA is actually a Trumper. But yet, this woman that he hates so bad and that hates him so bad, that it's one of the owners supposedly that has made some horrible comments about him and false accusations and whatever.
See, this is
She has a Trump sign in her window, so now he's trying to go after her for her Trump sign.
Oh, because it doesn't matter because it's not because he doesn't give a shit about that. It's all about
course
his
not.
ego.
Of course
And-
not. It's all about
and-
you're right.
And so wait, what did this person? So that's what this person did wrong. Is quote unquote they had a Trump sign in their window.
Well, there's other things that she said things about the board and blah blah blah. But who
so
gives a
fucking
fuck?
what? They're
Exactly.
allowed to say whatever the fuck I could say. Hey, HOA, you suck cock.
Oh.
You have dribbling semen dribbling from your HOA mouth, and they
And
can
I
go,
used to say it all the time.
and they can't do shit.
Of course, but
you
because
said something about the HOA, so you should be removed.
you made
can't
false
say
accusations towards the board, and you
The
told
board.
owners other things that weren't true, and it's
you're
like,
the
well,
board.
This is why this guy his dick is fucking retracted inside of his stomach, so he needs to compensate.
oh, totally,
Fucking
totally, and he's a total control freak. Fucking, actually, what it was is he there was one that we all voted for, right, except for him, and he wrote back and he was like, I vote against this, and I wrote back, I was like, unfortunately, it's a democracy, not a dictatorship. And I was like, you even told us in the past that things have to be voted on by a majority in order for them to pass. So it's like, all right, dude, so yeah, more of that bullshit again. So that's the latest HOA
My
drama.
God, dude. Here's the thing about this dude. That HOA whole situation is a microcosm of the politics of our whole fucking country.
Yeah,
Like
pretty much.
it's
Pretty
like all
much.
these fucking.
That's
it's
how
like,
it is.
Oh, I'm gonna get you.
You can
Ooh.
ask Giz. I stole your girl while you was in prison.
I'm still kind of reeling over the idea that your attorney would ever consider doing this.
Right.
I'm
Well, that's
sorry,
what's
I
so
can't quite
hilarious
let that go.
that he would even think like, hey, he'll probably do it pro bono, man. Come on, buddy. Will you come in? And all of us are just going, yeah, dude, it ain't happening. You don't need
There's
the attorney
no way,
there.
because attorneys don't do that. How they bill is if your phone call, it's on, oftentimes it's on like a 15-minute block. So
Right.
if you're on the phone for 5 minutes, you still bill it out to 15.
About 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not exactly, do-gooders. That's not why.
They're there for the good of the cause of justice.
Well, you know what I gotta say, and I think Koala Harris will agree, and so will Louie. But
It's Koala. Koala.
Koala.
Oh yeah.
Koala.
Koala.
Like cholera, but different.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but here's the thing, man.
It's how a little kid would say cholera.
Think about how annoying your HOA would be if you and Anthony weren't there to be the bulwark, to be the shield, to be the wall between him and the tyranny that would be imposed upon your whole community.
Well, and you're right, because otherwise, and there's that other chick that he was controlling, for a while.
But now he's not. You know why he's not? Because of you two.
Because, well, yeah,
no, seriously. Because
Anthony's told her to stand up to him, and
exactly.
She has, actually,
you both are an example for her, and so she uses you. So you have affected your community.
Dude, we're like
Max.
turning shit around, aren't we?
Dude, you are, dude. You are the Vivek Ramanasi, whatever his name is.
Piece
of bubblegum, no peach, no pum, no. Sonic. No.
Yeah, that was it. I
love you. No peach, no.
Supersonic.
But it's funny that you were like, I'm not going to be a part of this. Now you're literally like, no, we're not doing that, because he would. If let's say he did that, and your lawyer's like, do you?
Before when Anthony the first year, we had our training wheels on. We didn't know what the fuck to do, And I told you the first time when we first got voted onto the board, the first thing PJ did was, this is kind of funny. He puts his chair back and goes, "So, which one of you wants to be president?" And Anthony and I are just going, what? We just got on the board. No, none of us want to be president, And now it looks like Anthony's going to be president here soon. So we'll see what happens here.
Is that PJ just playing?
That's PJ just playing. That is PJ just playing. Because
that's a lot of that is what I had to deal with when I was on a board for the Massage Therapy Association. And so, the president at the time, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I think you should do it. And then she'd keep retracting. Actually, I just really want to lead. And so finally I was like, you know what? Actually, fuck it. You've said this too often and people are pissed at you. I'm going to run.
Yeah.
I had no intention of running and I won.
and see that's what's going on, because now Anthony's like, fuck it, I'll run, since you're talking about stepping down.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, well, I'm not stepping down till January, and you couldn't possibly. You guys were right too. He still wants to stay on the board. He just doesn't want to be president anymore.
Bullshit.
He
still wants to be president.
He still wants to be president.
Yeah, of course he does. He wants to be president from the far.
He wants to be president, vice president, treasury, and whatever the other fourth thing is.
He is the
pissed off because he's having hissy because you're not doing whatever he wants you to do.
Right.
Like the place probably was when he first got there.
And we're not licking his balls going, Oh, PJ, you're talking about resigning. No, I actually told him, I said, bro, I think this is the best thing you could do. It
And
sounds like you're unraveling.
That totally caused him to unravel even further.
Oh, that,
Mhm.
You were
yeah.
supposed to be threatened by it, bro. You're supposed to like, no, 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 no,
No,
no.
no,
we
PJ,
didn't mean to hurt
please,
your feelings.
don't
Please
leave us.
stay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Nope. It wasn't going down that
I'm
way.
calling it narcissism.
Oh, there it is. More narcissism.
Yeah,
It's just the world
probably.
of it, man.
Just
Fuck.
everywhere.
The whole world is a bunch of narcissist fucks.
Or whatever.
Well, and that's the funny thing is they don't realize, because that's what happened in my situation. Was it was just enough that I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just, she wanted everybody to, oh no, you do such a great job. You should stay and da da da. I was like, actually, I think you should step away. I think, it's time.
So you did what I did.
And yeah, I did. And then I ran because I didn't think anybody else was actually that qualified on the board to do it.
Right.
And I was fast tracked in. I had but I mean, had you asked me 2
Several months
years
prior.
earlier, I would have
Yeah,
been like, shit, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's how Anthony was talking at first. He was like, well, both of us were talking that way. Oh, man, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want, but then now we're like, fuck it. Something needs to happen because this dude's coming apart, with his. And, he wrote me a follow-up email about my quote unquote seance, as he kept calling it.
Oh, yeah.
And he just wrote it to me, nobody else. And he went into this whole thing about, I know more about these seances. And when I was younger, I did it. And there was a serial killer involved. Maybe one day I'll tell you, but I'm not sure when's the right time. Yeah,
serial killer.
Yeah, he said something about a serial killer and the seance. And I'm like, whoa. And when I wrote Anthony,
In
I'm like,
Vegas. I'm trying to think. Who's a Vegas killer?
no, this guy's from New York originally, man, or somewhere back east. That's
Son
the
of
thing.
Sam, then?
Well, he throws out
No,
the whole,
David Berkowitz.
oh no, his
Son of
serial
Sam.
killer.
Dave showed up.
Good old Dave.
Actually, there were a lot of serial killers
Showed up
back.
with his dog.
Right.
Yeah, the dogs were telling him murder.
Right.
But no, PJ's originally from New York. He's a New York. That's the thing. He likes to do the. It's funny out here. A lot of people are actually like intimidated by people from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're from New York. That must be tough. Where it's like, no, dude, fuck you. I'm not intimidated by that bullshit. Go fuck yourself. Get out of here.
Yeah.
We don't care. Anyway, fuck.
Man.
On that note, y'all.
Do any of you guys have any?
He has to go to the bathroom.
Me and
Well, that too. Eventually, I will. Yes, but I
Yeah.
figure, since it's a school night and all,
just an early. Do you guys have anything to like?
add?
Well, so far it's 2:30 now to 179,
Negative.
according to Google.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, dude, it looks like Trump's moving forward and Kamala's kind of staying steady at her spot. That's what it's looking like.
It's like so. Yeah. So what do you guys? just want to just wrap up or?
Yeah, we could do that.
Might as
Okay.
well. Shit.
Yeah, I think we'll
Yeah,
see
I
what
gotta
happens.
work early tomorrow, so that
No,
would probably be good.
Thank you guys for listening to me. It's interesting to be in a place, and I don't want to be like, oh, but in a way, it is interesting to be in a place where I'm surrounded by people who have completely different beliefs than I do.
Well,
So like my family is kind of with me on this, and you guys, but like it's weird being in a place that's so leaning one way. That's just kind of like,
especially the
Texas,
opposite of
man.
what you're doing.
yeah, I might have to. I might have to if it gets bad here. So
I think you'll be fine, man. I think you're gonna be fine. You'll be fine,
sure
just
I will.
fine.
All right. Well, anyway, this has been the election. Right now, it's looking good. We'll see how it is tomorrow.
In the days to come, really.
Right.
Yeah, in the
right.
days, because they're saying Pennsylvania won't be decided tonight, but if he wins Wisconsin or Michigan, it won't matter. So hopefully he gets nails those tonight. So don't have to worry
Right.
about any goddamn 5-day long counting bullshit.
I know.
Right?
I know
That's what I'm hoping
Nevada.
Exactly.
Hey,
Seriously.
goddamn it.
Or Arizona.
Shit.
Dumbasses. You know what the funny part is? You know who's already done pretty much counting almost everything? Is Florida. For some
Wow.
reason, certain cities and certain states can count them really quickly. It's really interesting that way. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Wonder why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
What they're doing, man. They're doing something different. They're doing. Anyway, shit.
All right, folks. Well,
On that
this
note-
has been the Nothing Sacred Election 2024, November 5th, 2024 election coverage. I am Cruise Control.
I'm Maxwell fucking Silverhammer.
I'm Louie Loke.
Koala.
And
And
that's
the
story
there.
bitches. Hey, you fuckers should have joined into that too. Anyway.
We always screw it up, so I
I
just
know,
figured-
right?
Yeah, just jump in anyway. Who
We've
gives
learned.
a fuck?
Later, guys.
We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. With Maxwell Silverhammer. We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.